10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Because it does look pretty good right now.
Yeah, they could consider the Doom here.
Yeah, it's one of those heroes where you can just pick it early, and you don't have to worry too much.
And it also seems like they're maybe dissuading Fnatic from picking up their usual cast of heroes, right? Like they usually love to pick up that Winter Wyvern as well, which Jakiro kind of counters that Wyvern. He has so much magical damage, and the Winter's Curse kind of can act as some setup. If they group up trying to kill off the target or round around the target. So yeah, the Wyvern not looking too great. Tiny though going through for Fnatic. Now we've seen the explosive power of that Tiny. Do you think that we're going to be seeing Moon, or do you think the supports will be taking that Tiny?
It's tough to say. I think both DJ. Yeah, both DJ and Moon plays very fantastically on the Tiny. I think Tiny has been the baby of this, the star of this week.
Yeah.
Like, ever since Neon pulled out the Tiny mid, every team has just been, wow, Tiny's back. This hero is so strong, offers so much magical burst damage in the team, helps the team ramp up the tempo really fast.
Yeah, I think throughout the entire regular season, we have seen Tiny almost every game. He's either a support or core. Core Tiny wasn't that popular before the new patch, but once a team finds no success with Core Tiny, every other team would want to try him out.
Maybe the old patch didn't really fit Tiny, right? Because it was a farming patch. You just want to sit in lane, you just want to farm, but that's not what a Tiny wants to do. He wants to go around, get those kills. So yeah, looks like so far the patch is suiting Tiny quite nicely.
Oh, Fnatic is banning a Timbersaw themselves, so it might be a SSI's Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and they could be, they are also worried if, regardless of where this Nature's Prophet goes, if there's a Timbersaw, the Nature's Prophet will always be at risk. So this...
Not even just the Nature's Prophet too. Tiny's very vulnerable to a Timbersaw.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're running a strength hero, you are.
Yeah, teams used to pick Timbersaw into the Tiny at the mid lane, so there's absolutely nothing the Tiny can do. And also, with the Timbersaw ban, it opens up hero like the PL Terrorblade as well.
Oh yeah.
That we all know Savage loves to play.
This is still another, I think Fnatic might not look at the throw right now. Probably the TB or the PL.
Underlord ban though, so even more incentive to pick up the Illusion base hero right now.
So I think you guys have always mentioned that Underlord is actually a really big counter to the PL.
Yeah, because there's nothing that the PL can do. And Underlord is generally good when you fight in chocos. And just look at TNC's draft. You have this Jakiro right there. That is a good enough reason for you to ban out the Underlord. It gives them so much zone control. Jakiro's magic damage is enough to cut through the PL, and if you place the Underlord there, there's no way this PL is going to get anything done. Yeah,
but TNC must have seen this coming. Fnatic has invested 2 bans, Timbersaw, Underlord ban. It shows very clearly that their incentive here, their purpose behind this is to go for the Illusion base hero, so we'll see how Fnatic will respond to that. Maybe they can snatch the TB or the PL away themselves.
Oh yeah. I think if they snatch either or, there's the morphing available as well, but all these cores they're actually going through. Fnatic, they banned the Kunkka.
So it seems like they're just letting all the carries through. They're expecting their opponent to go for their carry for their next pick. Yeah,
they're also banning out heroes that either do well into their carries or have a really strong laning presence. Kunkka is one of them. We saw it last game from Adroit, from Mac. And during these two teams, they also play the Kunkka. Ormel plays a pretty nasty one. So Fnatic taking that out just to protect their draft as well.
Let's see what they're going to go for 23 Savage. What other heroes is 23 Savage quite comfortable with, minus the usual draft?
He loves to play the PA, the troll.
PA, troll, PL.
Even the Alchemist is still in the pool so far.
Yeah, I think the Kunkka ban might also be to protect this, the Nature's Prophet and the Tiny in case the Tiny ends up being a mid-Tiny.
Yeah, but it seems like Puck, most of the time is Moon playing the Puck. I think it's a pretty good counter to the Void Spirit. Silence is great. Coil is great as well.
Is this also maybe to deter the potential IO Gyro as well, since Puck Dream Coil will keep those two in place?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a pseudo deterrent. It's not like a hard counter, but it's kind of okay. I wouldn't rely on the Puck to do that though if the opponent runs an IO Gyro, because either way the IO wants to stick with the Gyro. So if you put them in a Dream Coil together, as long as they're tethered, I think the TNC will be fine with it.
Let's see, they're actually using quite a bit of reserve time here for TNC, so they're not quite sure what they want to pick up yet.
If they want to pick IO Gyro, it is going to be in this phase. I don't think you want to keep it.
I think they want something that can go for the puck instantly. Something like the DK would be great.
Fnatic.
Dragon Tail against puck bait, but here's that hard counter, hard lockdown for the puck.
Team Shaker.
Morphling is still in the pool.
Yeah, there's still a Morphling.
That's the TNC special, guys. That was how they win the first major for themselves.
Yeah.
The Morph Shaker.
Morph Shaker.
So Fnatic, they've got to be thinking about this as well. Could they actually snatch up the Morphling themselves to prevent that combo from coming out? Or do you think it wouldn't fit?
Oh, definitely. I think
they can snatch this.
They can snatch it, or they can go for a Morphling counter here. Like, they have been setting up for it, right? All the bans to protect the PL pick. So PL potentially good against the Morphling as well. Like, never mind. They go for the Rubik.
Okay, so they're going to actually save 23 Savage's hero for last.
We have been waiting for Rubik pick for so long, and this is one of the very perfect Rubik game. Jack Hero, Shaker, all the spells for you to steal.
Ice Path, Fissure. You just need to steal these 2 spells, that's it. Everything else is a bonus.
It looks like DK is going to be the next pickup here for TNC, so their lineup is looking pretty tanky. I think you mentioned this off stream to me. This was during the first game of our first series. How Tiny generally just burst all these little squishy supports, but look at the supports on the side of TNC. You've got Jakiro, who's a very fat, tanky support, and you've also got the Shaker, who also is naturally tanky. So if this is supposed to be a core Tiny, it's not going to be an easy time grabbing these support kills.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, Fnatic has like 3 intelligence hero. TNC Predator, they can actually go for this Gabby DK and off lane Void Spirit, and then probably put like a Armel Pugna or even a Doom. I think the Doom is also pretty decent. Just that you have to dodge the Rubik, that's pretty much it. The Morphling is still doable. You put this DK off or DK mid. It really depends on what Fnatic bans out right now.
The only thing we are not seeing an answer is the Fnatic. I think Rubik is 100% a 4, but the other 3 heroes is hard to tell. We might be even seeing a post 5 puck. I think Puppy is one of the inventor or creator for post 5 puck.
Yeah.
Really greedy, but he makes it work. And if there's one team that can make this greedy lineup work, it's gonna be Fnatic.
Yeah, we've seen Fnatic play really greedy drafts. Even yesterday in the series that they lost against Neon, both games they drafted a super resource reliable. What do you call it?
Resource intensive
lineup. There you go. Thank you very much. But yeah, so it was all the cores kind of need gold to function, and that didn't happen for them in that series. This is almost going to be the same. But if you run this Tiny as a support, then you probably need lesser resources. Just give him the Blink Dagger. Same with the Puck if the Puck is a support.
I think there's a lot of incentive for Fnatic to go for mid Tiny here.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, TNC hero are really tanky, so you don't really want a post 4 Tiny running into all these tanky heroes. You want your Tiny to be on mid, get the early levels, so you hit them while they are still weak.
Oh yeah, and TNC, they go for the out ban. Just anticipating for this. If the out goes through, then TNC would have to play by Fnatic's rule, but
maybe the conditioning is working on the side of Fnatic since they've been picking up the Alk so much.
But I feel like they don't have much heroes to support the out on the side of Fnatic. It's not like you have like what Geek Rank drafted. You don't have like the Trent, the Chen, the Phoenix. The out would have to rely on himself a bit more if it goes through onto Fnatic.
But maybe TNC don't feel comfortable going up against the Alchemist as well, right?
Yeah.
If you take a look at the lineup,
The heroes are slow.
The heroes are super
they're slow, and do they even have the damage output early game to kill an Alchemist? Because he is still reasonably tanky.
Yeah.
Lycan banned by Fnatic.
I'm really liking a Terabait here for TNC.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Fnatic's draft are so greedy. If TNC comes with Terabait, they can hit their timing so much earlier, and then they'll just group out and push down towers, forcing fights, and Fnatic, they will need a lot of time to come online to come to their pick of their draft.
Yeah, Terrorblade, PL, all these 2 heroes are fantastic. Fnatic have no way of stopping them. I think they can even go for Troll.
Alright, never mind.
Naga Siren.
They go for the Naga Jakiro.
Oh man, this is such a scary draft.
And if you look at Fnatic, do they really have the wave clear to actually deal with the Naga illusions?
No.
So far, no. It all comes down to how TNC executes the fight. We've seen TNC when they played their first series, I think in week 2, they went straight for the big combos. And this is one of those lineups that You get the setup properly done, you win the fight. Fnatic have no way of stopping.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Terrorblade is also good for Fnatic. I feel like Terrorblade is good in every single game.
Terrorblade is good when he gets to a point, right?
We have seen Terrorblade versus Naga, right?
Oh yeah.
Like 15k Naga versus a 15k Terrorblade that does exactly the different thing.
Yeah, Terrorblade wins hands down. Naga cannot beat the Terrorblade. But with so much magic damage and burst, the Terrorblade will have a terrible time.
We'll see if Fnatic wants to go for the boring stuff, or maybe they want to go for some creative stuff. A Necroforce would be very creative.
That's a post one profit then. Necroforce.
So what are your thoughts on the lineup overall?
Like I'm looking at Fnatic 5 cores lineup.
Oh yeah.
And I look at TNC.
5 cores lineup.
3 cores. I like TNC.
But TNC themselves, their pick are not so early as well because of the Naga.
Yeah, it comes up to execution.
This is another farm fest, I feel. It just depends on who farms more efficiently, who does things more efficiently.
Predictions, who?
20-minute mark is going to be the timing I'm looking for, so I don't know. I feel like TNC has an easier way of closing out the game compared to Fnatic.
TNC?
Yeah.
Fnatic. All right, looks like the panelists have decided one apiece. As for the casters, who do you think is going to win? We're going to throw it over to our casters right now. OD, Pixel, and Fog to take it away for our first game.
Thank you very much, Stanley. And well, in terms of who I think is going to win this one, I think it's tough to call. I mean, we've got the two sort of biggest names here in the SEA region, TNC and Fnatic. Personally, I would probably favor the Naga Siren. I think this looks like a really good Naga Siren game. Fog, what do you reckon?
I'd have to agree. Yeah, definitely do think that if it gets to the point for Gabby, if he gets to a late game status as this Naga, if they haven't already pressured an insane amount on the side of Fnatic, like let's say Fnatic doesn't have some like 10,000 gold lead plus, I do think Gabby will take over this game toward the later stages. He has a great backup of his team, good combos with his song as well if he does want to go for any type of fight involvement, and yeah, it looks like a pretty damn good Naga game.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the final pick from Fnatic, obviously Ice getting this Necrophos. It seems like their approach is very much going to be trying to end this game before it gets to that point, right? They're going to be looking to burst people with the combos.
Fast tempo for sure is what they're looking for. Necrophos plus Nature's Prophet, lots of magic damage, even push in continuation and sustain.
Prepare for battle.
So let's have a look what we have coming out in terms of the lanes. Looks like things are going to start with Varmel down on the bottom lane. It's the DK backed up by March. KP playing this off-lane Void Spirit.
You fought and died with honor.
Holy moly!
30 seconds to battle.
They just don't want Gabby to be placed versus, Rubik plus Necrophos, which is probably going to be the case. Like we look at Fnatic's lanes, and they did draft a pretty solid laning setup in order to put the pressure on and get that early advantage. So, like you said, we're looking at Fnatic playing fast, and with the lane setups, that's exactly what they're trying to do too. And TNC, they're just trying to dodge it and give Gabby the best game possible.
Yeah, and Fnatic, they do have a great lineup to delete heroes, right? There's going to be this point where they can make moves. There's this, Puck with the setup. Tiny's able to get in with the combo. You slam them down with Ice's Reaper's Scythe. You can delete a lot of these heroes. Even sort of the tankier heroes, having that Reaper's Scythe potential is going to allow you to kill them in the mid game.
Absolutely, and one of my favorite things is actually whenever you have like a hero like Tiny, one of these like solo kind of gankers where he can look to just set up by himself, and you have a global threat. You have a Nature's Prophet, not only Wrath of Nature, but also a teleport. He can easily look to get involved and just guarantee kills with the rotations.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Moon on the Tiny, I mean, we've seen some other Tinies, right, go for like the Veil in their build-up. This would definitely be a great game for someone on Fnatic to get a Veil early, right?
Yeah, that's probably going to be the case with this game. I mean, it's a beautiful draft for it. It's him or, I mean, Jabs could get it too, but his would be later. But yeah, we've seen those Blink Veil builds now a couple times. Always good versus a Naga Siren 2 to have that type of item.
Yeah, so in this mid, I mean, Gabby, is this sort of perfectly worked out for TNC, would you say, with the fact that he is just against the Tiny on his own? This should be a free lane for Gabby to have a really good start?
Yep. And I think this is, you know, they're like I was mentioning, they're avoiding the pressure lane. The Rubik Necrophos is the lane that's going to try to apply as much pressure onto, let's say, if it was a Naga Siren. Having a DK down there, sure, Necrophos can be a bit annoying sometimes, but you're a DK. And you have the strongest 5 position hero, or, you know, one of the 2 strongest 5 positions in the game right behind you.
Yeah, for sure. You know, March is definitely going to be ready to fight back anytime that Ice DJ get aggressive on the bottom lane. And then up on the top, I mean, again, I guess, you know, for TNC, they do have Tims as the Shaker, able to keep the creep wave, you know, controlled quite nicely. So, I mean, overall, it does definitely feel like TNC have got decent lanes to start things off.
Yeah. I still like Fnatic's overall a little bit. I guess it's probably even. I like the top lane in particular. I just like Nathan Prophet Puck quite a bit. They can punish though, right? They're pretty fragile. If Tims does get a good fissure block, KP can provide the damage. But they're elusive, right? Like, let's see, he does get fissure block. Savage should be able to just TP most of the time, and Jabs can move around it with his orb. KP actually just walks in and gets a courier. Okay.
Just gets 23 Savage's courier. And Jabs is going to jump across, punch back into KP a bit, but KP's got the Quelling Blade, so can work his way back around through the forest to safety. Yeah, 23 Savage is going to have to be a little more careful with his courier the next time round.
Tim's just missed the side pull. That's actually... Oh, okay, he's going to get courier for it, I guess.
All right, I mean, Fnatic just sort of throwing away the courier lives on this top lane. 2 down already in this first couple of minutes.
Yeah. I mean, he tried to... The side pull is actually big, though, because he would have reset the whole lane positioning, and it would have denied a whole wave. But yeah, at least he does get a courier kill for himself, and all that's the dream, especially for somebody like Gabby. He's like, oh, thanks, guys. You know, mid-Naga Siren, double couriers. Now he's got double Wraith Bands finished up. He's going to have a great matchup versus Moon now.
I mean, when would you say sort of the go time is going to be for Fnatic? Is it going to be sort of as soon as Ice hits 6, they want to try and make it plays with the Scythe? Like, how soon can they start to maybe even get on top of Gabby, start to shut down his area of the map that he feels safe farming in?
I think as soon as Savage hits 6, I think we see Jabs is just making sure not to take too much experience right now from Savage. He's going to get God on right now. He should still just be fine. Courier, they're also going to lose one on the side of TNC.
All right, a little bit of revenge there from Fnatic. Yep, Jabs is able to get in and grab it.
KP's starting to get turned on from the right click. He's got that Ring of Tarask to get that sustain up top. But yeah, I think as soon as I think as soon as Savage hits 6, they can make moves though, because Tiny toss Avalanche combo plus a Wrath of Nature might actually be enough to kill an Naga.
Oh yeah, definitely. If Moon's able to get himself on top of the real one, get that combo laid down, and it's going to be up on the top side of things. So Moon, not lucky with the RNG, won't be able to get that bottle refill. It's a little unfortunate for him.
See DJ, it looks like he's stacking a bit here. Is that a triple stack? Yeah, triple stack on the hard camp up on that right side of the map.
Bottom lane. Armel's farm, 27 for 1, he has the 24 for 1. I mean, only really that top lane where KP's not getting quite as much CS. He really has a chance on Jabs, but Jabs is able to jump away with the orb before the Remnant does clip him.
Yeah, and you know, it's like KP, I mean, he's probably still pretty happy because there's no way that they win that top lane. You know, you're versus NP Puck and you double melee. You're just fissure blocking and trying to maximize. So I think he's still pretty satisfied with what he's been getting up there anyway.
And overall, you can see at the top, just a 1k lead at the moment now for Fnatic, so just finding the slightly better start. Here we see on the runes as well, also able to grab 3 of the 4 bounty runes Fnatic. So just getting that little bit more out of the map so far.
Yep.
Which is very important, of course, for their lineup.
Savage is going to be hitting 6 pretty soon, already halfway to it on that 5. We'll likely see that aggression come out. They're also okay. So they're doing. I wonder if they're doing this on purpose. So they're giving Savage the solo XP and they're giving Ice the solo XP. So we're going to have a Reaper Scythe plus Wrath of Nature combo pretty much coming at the same time because the supports have just kind of left themselves from the lane.
Yeah, we'll see what sort of opportunity they get to use it. And Armel would be a nice one to take, but definitely one of the tougher ones with that 1k HP and the 3 points in Dragon's Blood. Chances of them getting lower pretty slim. Mid lane Moon coming in with a good bit of harass down to Gabby with the combo. Gabby himself out of regen, only got that one Fairy Fire. What's he got coming out of the couriers? He got himself some backup. No, it's just the Gloves of Haste. So Gabby is going to be out on the map, definitely at a level of HP where could be punished by these sixes if the rotations come in.
They're going to look for bottom. Ice is spamming down here. He's clearing the creep wave fast. He's keeping his catapult alive.
Oh, he really wants to go.
Nature. He gets
excellent.
There it is.
Excellent Nature's Wrath, yeah, by 23 Savage. He does those bounces perfectly. And as you say, you know, this is exactly what you need to see from Fnatic's lineup. They went immediately. You know, you couldn't have gone any sooner there if you're a Fnatic.
It was pre-planned. It was pre-prepped. That was them. That was coordination and communication at its finest. Because they were literally both supports had left the lane to give these two that level 6 at pretty much the exact same time. Ice kept his catapult alive the whole time and forced the wave in. So he hit 6 as they both do, and bam.
Yeah.
They're gonna get a tower out of it. A core kill too. Perfect move by them. Love seeing it.
Very nicely done by Fnatic. Definitely showing sort of the signs that they have a very clear strategy in mind with this draft that they have got. And this is exactly how they need to play it to try and punish TNC's, you know, Naga Siren pick.
And they can get invasive pretty early on if they start getting those quick T1s, and that's the point of their draft, right? It's this Naga last pick, but they have a quick pace draft for Fnatic to try to pressure those towers and just assert dominance. And they're getting into the jungle already. Savage is moving in. Moon finds a target. It's March.
That's TPing over. He's going to be able to shut him off. I mean, March is trying his best to juke away from any potential backup, but the Treants are beating down onto him. They do manage to turn onto Moon here. TNC bringing in the numbers, and they'll make sure the Moon pays with his life. Aggressive. KP trying to chase down for more. We'll have the Remnant up in a few seconds, but the rest of the team not able to chase with him. A good reaction there from TNC, stopping Fnatic from getting away with anything in their half of the map and being able to push back Moon.
Yeah. Some pretty heavy commitment, and their lanes now are a little pressured because of it. Jabs takes over top, and look at bottom. They're just taking a tier 2 now at this rate with this drum charge popped. They will have to force a glyph super early on already, 8 minutes.
At least March as the Jakiro's got good means to be able to push back these early pushes, but does definitely keep TNC contained in a way that they are having to react to all these moves that Fnatic are doing. Gabby's farm at the moment, we'll see on the net worth. He's up there, his third highest. So Gabby's farm still looking pretty solid. Definitely hasn't been shaken up too much at all by Fnatic. Yeah. As long as TNC can just try and avoid losing too much of the map and keep the game going for Gabby to farm, this Naga Siren will get to the point where she's in a very good position. But they still need to make sure this game lasts for quite a lot longer than it is. And obviously compared to what Fnatic want to end the game within.
Absolutely. And I'm seeing Fnatic right now. I think they're trying to take this tier 2 pre-10 minutes so they can get the outpost, but I don't think that's happening. I don't think I've seen that yet in a game where they take it
at 10 minutes. Yeah, that would be the dream for these sort of lineups.
Yeah. I'm seeing Ice and Savage playing extremely confident and aggressive down bottom because they know these two supports are pretty weak. You know, Jakiro and Earthshaker, they're not the strongest in the early game. They get progressively stronger as they do get those levels. So yeah, they're feeling real confident and they're pushing forward here. March trying his best to spam it down. Ice playing right above Savage in case a rotation comes.
We'll see mid. See the jump in, trying to punish DJ. DJ was trying to get levels underneath the tower. They didn't quite have enough burst to finish him, and now the TPs have come through. Moon throws out the avalanche. Tim's out just to the side of it. Won't be held in place long enough for Ice to get in, so TNC are able to keep themselves safe, not losing anyone there off the back of that push. Armel up top, getting a lot of space to himself. He's going to have the Dragon form again in 30 seconds. We'll see if he's able to push onto a tier 1. Fnatic are coming over.
Look at this, they're bringing the numbers too because they know they're getting bottom, so they're bringing the 3 here. They're going to guarantee themselves 3 bounty runes again. Very nicely done so far by Fnatic. Exactly how they should be playing. I think they could be, I mean, ideally they probably want to be getting a little bit more aggressive, a couple more kills, but overall the way that they're playing on the map is really, really good for them right now.
Yeah, 2k lead, 1-1. The gold definitely favoring them, and still maybe not as many kills as they would have hoped for. Yeah, only having the 1 kill so far, and as I say, Gabby's now taken that top spot. That's only going to continue. If Fnatic aren't able to find any more kills or towers anytime soon, Gabby he's just going to stay at the top. He's going to get further and further ahead. They just don't have any sort of hero that's going to be able to hit creeps anywhere near close to the pace that Gabby's Naga Siren can.
Absolutely agreed. They have to keep the pressure up and try to look for a bit more kills here. They're a little bit afraid up top because Armel was stepping up quite forward, but he's 1600 HP. It looks like they think this is a bait. Maybe they're waiting for him to cross a certain threshold. Ice is starting to get mad. He's starting to hit him.
He really wants to go Ice. They're going to try. They're going to drop down the Dream Coil. TP reactions instantly from both sides. KP coming in from the side. There comes the side visit, and up it is. Ice will be able to take it down. He's walking forward. He's slammed there on his map. Takes out the puck. Ice is able to get the heals off, though. He'll save himself. Fnatic still happy to fight as they step forward onto Tim's. Toss up from Moon. Stolen Echo Slam to rub salt into the wounds from DJ. As Fnatic, they lose their puck, but they take down both Armel and Tim's. Fnatic more than happy to take that. I mean, you know, Ice, he knows exactly how they got to go. As you said, he was frustrated. He knows they have to kill people. They go for it, and they come out on top. They're now 3K ahead, and they continue to ride the momentum.
Yeah, it's important because they have a ward up. They had a ward up on that high ground the entire time. So I think they maybe could have done it a little bit sooner, but you know, bird's eye view for us, so we can always see that. But Ice identifies. He's like, we need to kill this guy, especially with the catapult wave coming in. So they do, with that catapult wave coming in, get it down to half HP, and I believe Savage, did he take? Yeah, he took the mid tower as well during that. So continuing to make the right moves. Gabby also just continuing to soak all that space from his team though in the meanwhile. But definitely, you know, Armel is having a struggle of, you know, because he's the one who kind of has to show his face to push out these lanes a bit, and he's very killable when there's a Necrophos in the game. No,
exactly. Yeah, you can imagine we're going to see Armel and KP sort of stay behind because yeah, they are the leading forces in terms of the 4 members of the team that have to try on these plays from Fnatic. So they're not, you know, they are going to have to take quite a sacrifice in farm, which absolutely can work. You know, this whole sort of 4 protect 1 definitely has won quite a few games in this patch.
Yep, definitely do think so. We see TNC is just trying to split up the map here quite a bit. Tim's is trying to farm on any place he can farm, and it's a pretty neat one. He just stole enemy jungle, and he's actually 1300 to the Blink Dagger. Could be pretty huge for them to actually turn a fight with the Naga. At Fnatic, they have to defend this one. The way that their draft works, they should feel more than confident to take the battle here.
Let's see TP's coming in.
Look at Moon.
I'm going to look for the wraparound Moon. He's coming in with a haste. He's going to be able to blow up Tim straight away. Now Jab turns over towards March. He's going to be able to grab him with the telekinesis, drag him back. March taken out by the scythe of Ice. 2 more kills again, as you say, but Fnatic responding immediately. Now they can try and take this tier 1 tower down on the top lane.
Radiant structures are
Yeah, they came to play today. Look at them. Super active. Not like letting a single minute go by where they're not trying to look for something here. They spot KP for even a second trying to cut waves. Instantly TP, DJ and Moon are hunting him. KP spotted behind the tower, trying to delay the push, but the push has already happened. And immediately a line is drawn. Look at Ice. He pings, draws the line mid that he wants to push mid in and make his way toward bottom to take the tier 2. They are really on point with the way they're communicating, at least from what I'm seeing, just from lines being drawn on the map. So that's, you know, that's saying something.
How's Gabby's Zymes looking so far? What Manta done, basically. People so away. Obviously, it's not until he has sort of the item after the Manta that he's going to be any real threat in these fights. So still a fair bit of time that TNC need to be able to buy for Gabby.
Yeah, and Fnatic is already like, I think they've already noticed that we've identified that the problem is really only going to be the Naga Siren in this game, because I'm looking at their itemization. Necrophos has queued up the Radiance. Furion has queued up the Maelstrom when he was initially going for the Orchid. So I think they're starting to realize, okay, we've addressed the other things we were concerned of. Now it's just Naga. If we can keep this pressure forward and itemize for her, we've got this game. And that's looks what they're doing.
We'll see, as you say, I mean, Ice. As soon as that ult's there again, 20 seconds, they're going to want to go. We'll Lines being drawn inside of the jungle at TNC. Fnatic wanting to come over and just make sure that this whole area of the map is not safe for Gabby to be in. Gabby at the moment being protected by his teammates, both March and KP, playing around the top half with him, ensuring that Gabby is continuing to stay in the areas that's very hard for Fnatic to reach him without any response coming in from TNC. DJ thrown in the trees. KP is going to spot him out as DJ's got the stolen Astral Step. He's got another charge to jump over to the side. Gabby trying to find him, but the second jump will get DJ out to safety. Now Gabby coming in. And Gabby, he went in very aggressive to try and help out on this play onto DJ. He's got the song. He has got the TP, but Savage with an amazing Wrath of Nature just comes crashing across the map and puts Gabby's song to an end.
And they have the song on DJ.
Oh, the stolen song. It's going to be able to set up for a potential other hit. There's an Astral Step up in a second from KP. Is he going to get the chance to jump to the side? He will. But they're chasing the orbs coming across. KP's got to run. He's got to simulate as well in a second. DJ slides forward with the stolen step. Drags back with the telekinesis. KP's trying to hide. One to simulate. Jumps over towards the lane and trying to juke him over. But there's the toss. DJ come crashing down onto the head of KP. As Fnatic just coming in with the straight up out plays. Savage, TP out. Ooh, not going to make it. Armel at least able to find some fortune for TNC on the bottom half of the map as he takes down 23 Savage, but still, you know, killing this Naga Siren. Gabby just getting tempted a little too much to get a little too involved, coming forward aggressively when there was still the ability for Fnatic to TP in and turn things around onto him.
Yeah, they're continuing to play extremely well on the side of Fnatic. They even get what? They get the tower deny, I believe, at the end there. Yeah, DJ gets the deny. Even if Gabby doesn't get killed there by the Wrath of Nature, he was going to get songed and his TP would have gone and canceled because DJ had stolen it. He has the increased AoE because he has Aether Lens, so a little bit further cast range for him on that. Yep, I mean, they're playing and responding to everything perfectly. But Tim's, he does the Blink Dagger now, so this could be the thing that changes everything.
Let's see what he can do. He's going to commit straight away onto Ice, but it's not enough damage. Ice still alive for now. Point the Ghost Grab, but he is stuck in the magnifier, and that will burn him out. If they get the kill, they're all fairly low. KP does go down, but DJ, he may even be able to set up for another. Gets the telekinesis off onto Armel. Faybolt as well. March covering the safety with the Ice Bar, but Moon jumps in. Avalanche toss up onto Armel. It's a double kill for Moon.
Savage is in.
Let's see if he can set up for more in the backlines. March trying for the TP out. One more hit. Can't quite get it. March is away. A Fnatic, again, winning these trades, taking these towers. I mean, you can see TNC just trying their best to fight into Fnatic, but they just struggle to ever come out on top. You know, sure, they kill Ice here, but they're having to throw everything onto him. They're losing 2 heroes, and they're losing further towers off the back of it.
Yep. Again, just, whoa, okay. He's able to find Jabs there really quickly. Jabs not really expecting to get jumped by Tim's there because Tim's was still hiding in the tree lines there. But yeah, Fnatic continuing to do all the right moves here, responding perfectly, and that was the first Echo Slam. That was the reveal of the Blink, and they are still able to continue forward and take the tower. And now it's Outpost,
Gabby,
right? They claim the second Outpost, and whoa,
Gabby's kind of deep here. I mean, he's going to go for the song TP. Playing very deep into Fnatic's half of the map, but of course, for the most part, he can rely on that song TP to get him out safely.
They should look to continue playing around the bottom side on Fnatic. Just keep applying the pressure. They have all these wards and sentries down here, and this is just a great place for them to keep applying pressure. And yeah, Mjolnir already finished on Savage. Monster so far.
How's Gabby's arms doing here? He's trying to get the Skadi done.
Still pretty good.
The 2k away. I mean, yeah, he's still sat there at the top, so everything for TNC, you know, they are sitting on the shoulders of Gabby and looking towards this Naga Siren to be able to get them to win this game. But it's not going to get any easier, at least for the next 5 minutes or so, with the Zymes that Fnatic are building up to try and deal with the Naga Siren. Smoke up from DJ and Jabs. It's just going to come to an end. Looks like they weren't able to find any chances to go on anyone here. There's Gabby again playing the top half of the map with Armel and Tims by his side.
Probably need to get a defensive board on the side of Fnatic in the enemy jungle since they already have one on bottom. March gets caught by the long ice path into a lift, and that'll probably be March's demise.
I'll drop the scythe out, take him out of the game for a full minute. I mean, it's been a bit of a dry period for Fnatic, so Ice's more than happy to just slam down whoever he wants, knows that taking away any sort of hero for that amount of time makes it very hard for TNC to do much against the other moves of Fnatic.
Gabby,
Top lane.
they spotted him. Jabs, let's get the coil.
Oh, he's got it.
Up and he gets it.
And this time round, there's no song available. 10 seconds still on cooldown. Fnatic very quick to punish the Naga Siren when Gabby comes out, and they know that that ult's unavailable.
No hesitation by Jabs too. Blinks, instantly puts the ward up on the high ground because he has the 150 plus cast range, so he can do it from that far, gets the catch, and look, instant smoke. Again, they know how strong they are, they know how quick they can play on the map.
Mid. KP is going to get the chance to jump out of this. He isn't. The orb right upon him as soon as he comes out of the Yules. I mean, it's getting a bit bloody now. Fnatic, 13 to 5, 7k lead.
And they've got the items, like we were talking about, they're already pretty much itemized to deal with the Naga Siren if Gabby is strong enough to fight them. Like Ice is going to have the Radiance finished up, and they have a Mjolnir. This game is not going to get any easier for Gabby with the way they've itemized, and the other heroes are all addressed, as we talked about, with the way that they've moved around the map and pressured Fnatic off to a killer start today.
Try and catch Armel here, but this time Armel's smart with the reads. As soon as Savage shows he's out of that top lane, knows that there's likely backup sweeping its way up to that top lane.
Yep. Now they're really starting to really contain the side of TNC with the way that they have themselves set up. Ice bottom, Savage is top, 3 mid. TNC's got to do something to open up the map for Gabby a little bit more. He's way too limited on the places to farm for him to have a potential to carry right now.
Yeah, he's got the Skadi complete now, Gabby. He does. See how much of a difference they're able to sort of find a situation where he can fight with the backup of his team. I mean, still great team fight, right? The whole sort of song setup into the Jakiro, Shaker combo. It's a lot of AoE team fight control.
I just don't know how much Armel really contributes at all in the game at the moment. He's just a walk. If he walks in the front line, sure, he's just a walking stun, but he'll just die instantly once the fight progresses because of Ice. But Ice is very far on the front here. They might get to jump.
They're going to try and blow up the Necrophos, but already he's forced out to the side, gets out of the combo off the Jakiro, and Ice is fine to walk away, and if anything, he wants to turn back in the mid lane. Jabs comes in with a dream call. He's caught by Armel and Gabby getting the song off. See if they can get themselves out of here. They're trying to run. Gabby, he's out. Or is he though? Because there's 23 Savages hit the stolen song. DJ, he's got the setup. Savage has got the sprout follow. Mamu's got the avalanche. This stolen song from DJ is going to set up perfectly onto Armel. See if they can get even more here as they jump over towards Gabby. Gabby trying to run. He's got the illusions. They're moving in as well by Ice. They've got to be careful. This Ice Necrophos still with the scythe ready to pop. Gabby's got to run. KP jumps back across. He's trying to burst down Moon. Not nearly enough damage from this Void Spirit alone as KP has to get back up to the high ground. But Moon, he's in with the toss back into Ice's scythe as KP falls. Fnatic again just being able to outplay TNC in these fights, and even with the farm that Gabby has, it's just not enough at the moment to actually scare Fnatic at all in these team fights.
No, and I'm so happy to see it. I feel like I haven't seen this in a long time in a lot of these pro games, but somebody built an early 4-step, even a core player, my God, Moon, with the defensive 4-step on his teammate. I feel like a lot of these games I just don't see anyone building force when it's still one of the best items in the game. But yeah, ends up just disconnecting the fight, and you can just see Armel just feeds. Without BKB, he's just food inside of these.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Back up with the push there, the final tier 2 tower that TNC have standing at the moment, about to be taken. As Ice is coming in, starting to drop the GG branches as well. You know, Ice feeling pretty confident with the position the game's in right now.
Standard Daryl.
TNC there. They've got to have some sort of dreamlike fight to turn this one around. March. It's not going to get committed on here. Fnatic will let him live.
I'm just the one thing I'm really concerned is I'm not seeing TNC's damage as the game progresses. Gabby, sure, maybe he'll have some survivability and all that. The only way is if they can land some super insane Echo Slam, but even then, I'm still feeling that their damage is just lackluster at the moment versus what Fnatic has. With the heroes that are in the front line, right? Like Moon and Ice are in the front, and these two heroes are unbelievably tanky.
I mean, they're going to try. They do have the song and the slam. Let's see what they can do. Armel jumps in the Dragon Tail onto Moon, follow up Ice Path. They're going to try and blow up the Tiny first, but DJ comes in with the song once again. He's just putting to stop the whole combo that TNC want to get running. They step over towards Tim's, they take the shaker out, no threat of the slam anymore.
Three-man coil.
Flies back, three-man coil on the high ground, jab jumps in with the silence, they've taken out Armel, and Savage committing with the BKB, beats down another, the side comes crashing down onto the head of Gabby as the Naga Siren's out for 77. As they just cannot win these fights, TNC. KP lucky to be able to TP out there before he gets taken out by Savage. But they're now 15k down. Fnatic can return to the pit and finish this Roshan themselves. And it really just does feel that TNC's been playing on the back foot the whole game with no real means of ever getting themselves back on top in this match.
Absolutely, and DJ with some phenomenal steals in the game. A couple of actual steps in just these songs. They tried to go for initiation, which still did not look like a great initiation anyway for TNC in the position that they were, but DJ just sets them up for disaster, and then Savage with a 3,500 damage around the nature.
On KP, try to play out, pushing the top lane. A Moon and Savage waiting there for him. And with that, the creep wave up to the base of TNC. And maybe got one more fight in them. I mean, Moon's not even going to let them have the chance. Jumps in, gets the toss back onto March. March, he's dead and gone.
This is just flawless execution by Fnatic, honestly. I think I've only seen maybe one small mistake coming at them from Savage dying bottom when he was pushing the tier 2 earlier. But besides that, this game has just been perfect by them. Everything that they needed to do in this game has been done. 18,000 gold lead. This game for Gabby's it's not recoverable. He can't do this on his own, and he really is on his own.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, as we've seen, just the way Fnatic knew exactly what to do against the Naga Siren, and I feel like a lot of these top SC8 teams will have pretty good strats against these Nagas and Terra plays, because there's so many really strong position 1 players that do love to play these heroes. Like, to be a top team in C, you've got to have answers for these sort of 4 protect 1 strats, and Fnatic quite clearly does.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about the fast play style and everything, and I think that they utilized, giving their level 6s early, getting that level 6 on the Necro Furion, that's just perfectly planned. They had this going into the game, and they've executed just at the absolute top.
Looking for the second set of racks. We'll see what TNC can do. They've got their ults ready to go. Probably one final shot here to try and turn things around. See what they can make of it. Trying to go on to Savage, already looking at backlash. KP just jumps straight in, but moves over the spawn. Seek's just dead immediately. Has got the buyback, gets himself straight back in, and Savage is falling low. They take him down the once. That's the ages. See if they can do it again. Remnant will pull him back into the ice pop. A jab. He's in the coil on up the BKB. They're bringing Savage down. They've done it. They're taking out Savage. Savage is dead for 75. They'll turn their attention over towards Ice. Yours in place. Gabby as well using the song for the setup. Fnatic still hovering around Ice. Can they keep their Necrophos safe? He's dragged back by the Remnant. The ice pop blocking off his escape. Jab jumps in with the silence. There's not enough damage to bring down the Chikiro. Let's see the Sam come out, but they're still winning this fight here for the most part. TNC. DJ also going down as TNC, they're able to hold. They kill off Savage immediately, was confident he placed on the high ground with his Aegis, but then they had the chain disable to take him out after he respawned, giving him no chance to use his BKB.
Yep, very nicely done by KP. Beautiful thing about Void Spirit, right? That Aether Remnant on Aegis. You can't use your BKB, and then he did get chain lockdown. Very nicely executed. KP dodges the Zero Blade with his Yules. Will survive because of it, it looks like. Yeah, very nicely executed fight by TNC.
Yeah, if they can pull off that sort of a defense, maybe there is still hope for them in this game. KP, though, ooh. Not for him. Not for him. Their jabs able to outplay KP and catch him dancing around on low HP in the mid lane.
Okay. I mean, how many levels did Jabs just get for that kill? 1,400 experience for that kill? All right. Literally a full level just from that one. Up to level 19 now on the puck off of those. He's higher level. That's he's higher level than Ice. This is a 5-position puck.
Yeah, he is. My goodness, yeah. Wow. Nice little bit of a surprise there for Jabs in the mid lane getting that kill.
Yep.
So he's this. Good.
survive during the majority of it. I think for the next push, we'll probably, if, like, let's say they wait until Aegis does come out, which is still quite a long time, Savage will be much quicker on his BKB. Don't think he expected like, the little remnant play, and you just can't get any of your immunity off. Still in a very comfortable position. Gabby gets a little bit more breathing room, but like I was mentioning earlier, it's just Gabby. Armel is just, I mean, he's got the BKB now at least to protect himself, but he does not contribute a whole lot besides that. Stun in the fights at the moment. And then, yeah, KP we've seen. He's very much so struggling this game, 1-7.
Let's see what TNC. Now we're going to have to be ready for another aggressive move from Fnatic, as Fnatic with the smoke. So we're going to be able to find a DD room for this one.
Yeah, they do have Nullifier finished up on Gabby, so Ice is a lot more fragile now. They're pinging him out. They're seeing him kind of alone bottom. They could actually go for this here. Just nullify the Necrophos, and he can't get his Ghost Shard, but he's going to TP, and they won't find him.
There we go. Moon starting to show his face in the base. In fact, just walks in, takes the range racks. Easy little bonus there for Moon.
Okay.
Defending to be done there.
Oh, look at the power.
TNC's trying to fight. KP's going to get caught out by the side. The call down on the two of them. KP's out again. The side takes him out for 80 seconds. Ice. Caught in the ice path. Gabby wants to get out. It pops the song, goes for the TP out. DJ tries to move in, play it back and cancel it with the song. Quite get him in time. Gabby will manage to escape.
But they got Armel. And he TP, no BKB. This is a freebie for them, as well as March on the left side toward the base.
Just managed to get the buyback gold though, so we'll at least have that to come back in. But as you say, his Elder Dragon form being used, he's not going to have that for a full minute. Inside the base, they get out the burst onto the Jakiro. March is dead, no buyback on him. Fnatic, they seem to have got the game back in a good position for them to start taking more of the base of.
Yeah. Still in a very comfy spot, as we were saying. They push forward. They get a quick, easy kill. A couple extra pickups. Armel does respawn. He buys back.
So we're going to do it there, Moon. Yeah, able to slide to the side. Resume the push. I mean, TNC, very hard really for them to do anything until they have the full 5-man online. Even then, it's not going to be easy at all. They're now 26k down. The mid-melee rack's been taken. The range racks as well fall into the trees. And the rest of Fnatic finishing off this bottom lane. TNC, they've got the full squad back up now. What can they do? Armel's going to try to spin onto Moon. Looking for this tiny first. They're bringing him down low. Ice steps forward with a Ghost Trap. Moon, he will go down. They get the tiny. Can they get anything else? KP getting control on the front lines. The ice path from Mark catches onto Ice and Savage. Gabby tries to turn, but now the song. TJ steps forward, setting up. As they can get themselves right in the midst of it. Ice has Death Pulse, no side to go, but the right clicks from Savage are enough. Punches out one. The song from Gabby is allowing the rest of them to get back to the fountain. Savage not quite enough damage to get Gabby before he gets back to the healing of the fountain, but the space is there for Fnatic. They finish up the full racks down bottom. TNC jumping onto Ice underneath the tier 4s. Again, Ghost Shroud trying to come out, gets nullified off. But the damage has been done. 27k lead. This one range racks in the mid lane, standing between TNC and being mega creeped.
I mean, they can't kill Ice now unless they isolate him. He just has a heart in the front lines. 83 HP regen when it's active. I think it was like 55 when he was being attacked anyway. They do not have the damage, and there gets the last racks taken out onto tier 4s.
Yeah, Fnatic will look to close this one up now.
Yeah.
TNC have got the slam from Tim's. One more shot at it all. KP actually getting hit by an early scythe there. I think Ice sort of just done with this game. Wants them to type the GGs.
On the outside,
of the base, Gabby, he's trying to fire off the backlines. He's popped the BKB himself, and he's going to have to use that BKB to try and get back up to the high ground. March, he's got the glimmer, but Sentry's down. March will fall there as the tree comes flying through. Savage stands his ground with the BKB, turns over towards Armel. Armel trying to run. Gabby trying to find Ice, but Ice is just too tacky. Moves in with the combo. GG has caught him. Fnatic will take this game 31-9. 30k lead at 34. Looking very well prepared today so far for Fnatic.
Yeah, honestly, a picture perfect game. The early game was, I mean, that was just
the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom does its take. Look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers. Standing in the shade. Legends never die. They never lose hope when everything's cold and the fighting's near.
It's deep in their bones, they'll run into smoke when the fire is clear. Oh, pick yourself up, guys.
Legends never die. 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 They're written down in eternity, but you'll never see the price it cost. Scars collected all of their lives. When everything's lost, they pick up their hearts and avenge defeat. Before it
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
He snowballs, he gets an Echo Saber, and
that's it.
that's it. Like Echo Saber, Blink Dagger, he just wins the game.
That doesn't sound fun at all, does it?
And he pushes super fast as well with the 3 grab back then. It's such an annoying duo to deal with. But it's still workable.
Oh, all right. So Timbersaw made it through, and TNC have picked that up themselves. Now, we saw Timbersaw getting banned out. Was it the last series or
last game? Fnatic banned it
themselves.
The third ban.
Yeah.
Was actually the Timber.
Yeah, I think TNC is also anticipating an IO Gyro combo here from Fnatic. That's why Timbersaw is always great against IO Tiny in the lane, because Tiny, he doesn't do any magical damage if you play him as a carry, and Timbersaw always great against a melee strength hero.
Yeah. Perhaps they can still flex his Tiny into a mid again, right? There's always a lot of opportunities for Fnatic to pick the Gyrocopter for themselves, or just another hot carry that synergizes with this IO.
So the only combination we've seen with the IO, considering it's a support IO, is that Gyrocopter. What other pairings could we sort of look at for the IO if this is a support IO?
Morphling is one of them.
I think normally you want to play heroes that are already strong in the early game, and then you further enable them into a stronger hero. I think back then people play a lot of IO Slug, IO Ember, even IO Ursa has been popular for a while.
Yeah. What else? I think we've also seen IO PL, but it's not that often. I think on this mid-game hero, IO PL is actually not too bad, but it's not good against TNC's draft right now.
The Timbersaw.
Yeah, I think IO Morphling is also one of those duo that you might want to look at.
Fnatic, they're putting in the bans to protect their IO now. Venom as a ban obviously is strong because it reduces your health regen.
Yeah. TNC Predator might have the incentive to look at the Necrophos, because Fnatic, like Arthur mentioned, they are trying to protect this IO or the core that the IO is going to support. AA also banned out. TNC, on the other hand, they are trying to protect this Timber pick, as well as Slug, Silver Age Carrier, the Bat Rider, to kind of isolate the members of the team. So perhaps Necrophos this time is going to fall into KP's hands once more, and you might see like an Armor Timber mid or something.
Maybe.
But it depends, because it's pretty greedy to run like a Timber Necro. Then you need like a hyper post one like TB, PL, Morphling.
What's another way to sort of neuter the Timbersaw? Because we know Timber, he loves action, right? He wants to get out of the laning phase. He wants to fight as soon as possible. But what's another way that you can sort of prevent the Timbersaw from actually having all that freedom in those team fights?
There's one way. There's one tip that Isaac himself gave. He said that if you cannot kill Timbersaw at that time, don't bother trying to kill him. Just gather up your spells, gather up your net worth and levels, and then hit the Timbersaw when you know that you can kill him. I think a lot of time Timber excels and shines when teams trying to put 5 heroes onto him when they don't have the damage.
Yeah.
And we'll see that's the time that the Timber really shines.
We saw that.
We saw that from ISS.
Yeah. We saw that from new esports. They dropped everything and ISS just didn't die.
Yeah.
And then he pulled out the famous ...
Yeah, I mean, if you give your other cores a net worth, they will eventually outshine the Timbersaw. You kind of put them as, it's kind of like a Bristol bag, right? You don't have a damage to do with the Bristol bag, leave him be.
Yeah, just ignore him and go for everybody else, and just deal with him when everybody else is dead. I think Fnatic, they themselves is the best team to run the Timbersaw. They will know how to deal with it.
Yeah, ISS is basically looking at the Timbersaw pick and be like, hey guys, this is how you do a Timbersaw.
I think Fnatic is really investing. They have invested 3 bans to protect the IO Tiny combo, so they are most likely going to go back with this, not going to change up anything.
Yeah,
especially Gyro has been banned out by TNC.
Yeah, just eliminating the Gyro factor. So TNC, these next 2 picks is going to be aimed at shutting down this IO and the core, right? Could be the Tiny. Maybe Fnatic wants to run an IO Spectre. We've also seen that before. So they have to kind of start deciding what they want to do. They fall back to the Jakiro once more.
Yeah, Jakiro quite well when it comes to the IO pairing, right?
Yeah.
Ice Path just being a nuisance in those team fights can potentially catch both IO and his partner.
Yeah, a solid post 5 for March. For a player like March, Jakiro is always going to be a hero that he likes to play.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's nothing to really set up for the Jakiro either.
5 seconds.
Nothing. I think.
Is he going to play more of a team fight control in that he just applies slows and prevents certain paths from being taken with an Ice Path, or?
Yeah, seems like that's the route that he's taking. I always wonder, I'm always worrying if I don't see a setup for Jakiro, because this hero, you always want to be playing him ahead. It feels very bad when you're playing Jakiro behind, because all of a sudden your damage doesn't feel so painful anymore.
Yeah. Fnatic, okay, they fall back to the puck. We've seen the post 5 puck from Fnatic, and I think it is fine to go for the post 5 puck again. It's actually not too bad against the Timber.
Great against Quap as well.
Yeah.
All these elusive hero, you get shut down by the coil, and if this carry, if the Tiny is eventually going to be carried, coil works very well around IO Tiny, because you want to be standing there, standing still and deal with all your damage.
Yeah.
And coil is the best disabler for you to do that.
Yeah, well, a well-landed Waning Rift as well, right? Silence actually cripples the entire draft. They need all of their spells. Quap is squishy, and Jakiro, his animations that take so long that more often than not he just gets silenced up.
Yeah, and this is another example of Fnatic running a draft that can easily access the backline and can play really fast. Relocate, Blink Dagger, everything from Fnatic right now allows them to reach the Jakiro and the Quap and finish them off.
Now, this is a pretty interesting pick here. So TNC pick up the Doom. Now, we've seen what they're capable of achieving with the Doom. Of course, Doom is fantastic against the IO and now Ursa combination that's coming out.
Oh, God.
So how are they going to sort of play around this? So the Doom target has to be the IO?
Not really.
Or is it the Ursa?
I think early on, if you know that IO doesn't have that much net worth to buy back, you can always go for the IO. But when it comes to mid-game, IO will always leave a buyback, so that's a target you don't want to do. Then you might want to go to the Ursa or even the Puck. I think most of the time your priority is going to be the Puck.
Yeah, either the Puck or the Tiny.
Because the Ursa will always build SNY Sardonic, so the duration of Doom is going to be really low, and Tiny turns out he's only a bit. Ursa is the pairing for IO.
Yeah, like this is like either you do the Puck, maybe the Tiny. Like Ursa and IO, they just don't feel like good targets to use your Doom on. Early on, maybe yes, but later into the game, there's so many things that this Doom has to look out for.
Yeah.
So overall for the draft for TNC, do you think they're actually well prepared to deal with what Fnatic have right now, or do you think there's something that they're really lacking?
They're lacking damage.
overall damage.
Yeah, they're lacking a lot of damage.
10 seconds
Timber,
remaining.
Quap, Jakiro, Doom, they need someone to hit that hits hard. That hits
5
hard
seconds
and can actually outscale this Io Ursa.
Yeah, they have a bunch of magical damage, but when it comes to physical, not much. And also, you don't have an Ursa killer as well. Ursa fares really well against both Timber and Doom. And then you have the Puck against your Jakiro and against your Quap. So it seems like everything that TNC has picked for themselves, Fnatic already has an answer for that.
Yeah, and Fnatic, they even ban out both the Troll and the Lycan, so two of the strongest heroes that can deal with the Fnatic's draft have been eliminated.
How about lanes? Do you think the lanes are actually quite strong for TNC? Maybe they could snowball off of some really good lane placements?
Well, I mean, Ursa lane is for sure really strong.
Yeah.
And Puck is always a 50-50 lane. You can't really destroy a Puck on lane. And Tiny, we know that if this is support, he's just going to be roaming around. So I think at least 2 of the lanes from Fnatic is pretty solid right now.
Yeah, and even if TNC Predator somehow wins the lane, they still cannot play as fast as Fnatic. Fnatic will always have a way to respond to TNC Predator. They are not good at sieging, and again, they don't have the damage, right? Fnatic, now they add on the Dazzle, it makes things 10 times harder.
Like, how are you going to kill anybody now?
I was thinking of maybe they want to go for like the PL or PA, but now I see the Dazzle.
10 seconds
I don't know how TNC is going to deal with this. They don't have defensive support. The whole lineup is greedy. They just want to go on the offense, but against Fnatic, they have so many ways to stop TNC.
But there is some good news for TNC, right? So Timbersaw, he only actually has to worry about Tiny and Puck when it comes to limiting his mobility. Other than that, he actually has free reign over the Ursa and even the Dazzle.
Yeah, but
So-
this Ursa will eat him alive.
Yeah, but would Ursa want to sit on top of a Timbersaw when he has to worry about everyone else as well?
Definitely
There's
not.
no way Timbersaw. There is maybe a chance, and looks like Terrorblade's going to end up being their carry choice. How impactful do you think this Timbersaw is going to be during the mid game? Like, is everything on carry that game through and let the Terrorblade catch up?
I think it all comes down to the laning phase.
Yeah.
One thing he does want to do is to face up the Ursa. So
They don't really have a good lane. Like this Ursa, if somehow they ran this Ursa mid into Doom, Doom will be eaten as well. So the Ursa lane is most likely a guaranteed win for Fnatic. TNC, they need to kind of make it out the first 15 minutes. It's all on this Timber and Doom.
also they have 3 mini cores against the Dazzle. So it seems like Fnatic has all they have to potentially win 3 lanes.
Yeah, Fnatic,
This is tough for Fnatic.
hands down.
I mean, this is tough for TNC.
Wrong team.
I'll go with
10 seconds remaining.
Fnatic.
Fnatic. The panel is not looking too
5
hopeful for
seconds
TNC.
remaining.
But we'll have to see because the game is just about to begin. OD Pixel and Fogged will be walking you through our fight. Gentlemen, take it away for the last one.
Thank you very much. Yes, we had a pretty one-sided game in game 1 from Fnatic this time round. Fog, do you think things are going to be a little closer? Do you like this sort of ending from TNC going with the Terrorblade this time round?
I gotta think about this one for a second. This is a little bit interesting because there's some. I mean, it's just a little. It's different because like the disables right now in Fnatic are pretty limited. It's just the Tiny, the Puck at these levels. TNC does have some fight to match back, but theirs also looks a little bit weird. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit torn on this one here.
Yeah, I mean, sort of overall, I mean, do you feel sort of that this is another game where TNC are going to want to try and draw this out for Gabby, or this time a Fnatic in less of a pressure to play as quickly as they did in game 1?
They don't have nearly as much tower pressure this time around on the side of Fnatic. I do think TNC has a better just fighting in the early game here, because I do think that Armel is going to have a much better game this time around. He's a Timbersaw. He's not a DK who's just completely countered in the game. Sure, there's an Ursa he has to deal with, but depending on the matchup, if he is versus, let's say, the Tiny, he could be pretty well off.
All right, well, TNC certainly strong. See.
Prepare for battle.
So we'll see what sort of lanes we're going to have starting off. We have March at the moment heading down bottom. Gabby, of course, this time round will be starting things off in the safe lane, as per usual, as opposed to what we saw in game 1. Armel taking that Timber to the mid lane. Top lane Tim's supporting KP's off lane Quap. Going to be playing into the Jabs, Io, and Moon Tiny lane. And then
Swaps lanes
for Fnatic. They've got Savage here for the moment, and Ice and DJ down at the bottom. So and this is what you can't really play a Tiny into a Timber lane. You're just going to have a terrible time.
You can't apply pressure. You're just going to farm a bit and trade, and you're going to lose the trade significantly. As a Tiny Ursa, you can threaten. You can not only farm against him, but you can threaten him constantly for kills if he does play too far aggressive. Like a quick rotation, let's say from a IO, and Timber can actually just get ran out in the mid lane. But we'll probably see Armel probably go for that chain build, as we have seen. I've seen this matchup quite a lot. You go chain versus the Ursa a lot, and you just guarantee CS and always just distance yourself most of the times. I do like this approach, though, by Fnatic. I think immediately this is them already discussing, like we said last game. They seem very, very on top of their communication and prep for these games. So right away, loving the way that they're setting up their lanes. And we'll see how TNC decides to change it up at all, which I don't think they will, and I don't think they really can with their actual heroes. Unless they actually wanted to put big next level play, but put the Quap mid, and then they put the Timber top, and then they're actually in like this godly positioning in the game. But
yeah, they could do that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, as you say, maybe they don't feel the benefit. They're just going to sort of suck it up and say, okay, well, this is sort of the hand that Fnatic's dealt us. We'll just live with this, and we'll see how much they can do. Because I imagine, with this lane setup as well up top, it's hard for what KP's harassment to really scare Fnatic too much, just because of the amount of sustain they're going to have with this IO in the lane.
Yep. I think that they're, unless they catch jabs like super out of position or something with like tether on cooldown, which just shouldn't happen, it's really tough for them to really pressure Moon. Jabs, body blocking that big camp there so that Tims can't get a creep later on once he hits level 3, also so they can't pull the wave back.
I guess that his bottom lane for TNC should be pretty good for Gabby, right? I mean, he's not going to care about the physical harassment from Ice with the insane amount of armor he has as a TV. Sure, the burst of the puck's nice, but obviously being a support puck, those levels aren't going to be there. Any sort of rate that will build up damage that's going to scare Gabby in lane.
Yeah, I definitely see a better potential for Gabby as a Terrorblade this game than I did see as the Naga in the last game, because he was versus some heroes that can be annoying if they do get ahead. Like Necrophos can be frustrating. You know, a hero like Nature's Prophets can itemize to deal with Naga Siren as well. This game, I'm definitely liking Gabby's potential for being able to, like, quote-unquote, solo carry the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. And as you mentioned, towards the end of the draft, just a much better game for TNC when it comes to actually fighting against Fnatic when they do start to bring the fights to them.
Yeah. Armel doing just fine in the mid lane here versus Savage. Savage going for this bottle rush, but he can't actually pressure the Timbersaw as much. So yeah, this lane setup actually works out fine. KP is starting to fall behind a little bit already up top, but he should be able to catch up once these creep waves come in, because he does have like a double one pushing into him. Savage is actually getting pressured, I think, much more than he expected to by this mid Timbersaw. He's got 9 stacks on him, though, for Fury Swipe, though. So Armel will have to back away for a moment, let those fall off. Yeah, the level 1 on Ursa, it's just different now, because it used to be, oh my god, you can't even play Timber versus Ursa because how long Fury Swipes lasted. But level 1 Fury Swipes is 8 seconds. It's pretty underwhelming. But 12 seconds, that becomes a lot more threatening. And we will see probably the biggest thing is going to be that rune rotation for this mid lane to determine who really comes out on top. But Armel is doing excellent right now.
Yeah, really keeping the pressure up onto Savage.
Yeah.
Every time Savage steps forward, taking a large amount of damage. The top lane now, KP, as you said, I mean, still not in a great place. It's been a slow start for KP on this off lane. As Moon and Jabs just having a much better time of keeping control of this lane. KP just not offering sort of the threat that you want to as an off-lane Quap, because, as I say, just this constant amount of sustain that Jabs has got, still with 3 tangos, a salve, with a ring of regen, keeping Moon more than fine in this lane. And now actually going to turn on to KP. He's got the blink up, will manage to get away. Does have the salve on him.
Well, Armel's actually looking for a killing in mid. Savage is getting pushed away from the creep wave. Look at this.
TP's going to come through from Jabs.
But he keeps now secured the rune for himself. He pushed him completely away from the tower, and Tims was already waiting. Great plays from Armel here.
Refill for Savage. Got a chain if he gets enough, and he can. He's up and he's out. Armel's away. Just not having the control, of course, between the two of them to turn and kill Armel.
But yeah, Jabs makes a rotation over because I think he knows that Moon's doing really well top, and KP still definitely struggling. He's going to be looking to make moves around the map, as I think he's kind of just realized he doesn't think he can probably help KP. KP's now level 4, and Fnatic has claimed this whole top lane. But bottom, here comes the move.
Let's see if Tims can do something here. He's in onto Ice, blocking him off as well. Ice tries to turn, but Ice falls. The damage of Gabby with the metamorphosis. DJ's able to jump out with the orb. But there you have it. Tims, as you say, just trying to get something done on the map, and he's able to find it. Comes in on bottom and sets up for the first kill of the game for TNC.
Trying to get the bounty, but DJ will orb and secure that one. And Savage will actually be able to get the kill on mid now that he has an Orb of Venom. He's able to chase Armel, who played just a bit too far forward, going for the rune, and now Savage gets his bottle filled up. Ice didn't bring his boots, unfortunately. Those were left at base, but now he's got a full bottle, and he's got a level advantage. Well, a little bit of a level advantage over Armel. And level 6 with Orb of Venom, now he can actually go to chase for those kills a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the dives for sure, and Armel.
Yeah.
It's always got to make sure that he's close enough to Timber Chain away. Even then, Savage will be, as I say, more than happy to dive, chase, with the potential that Earth Shock to close the gaps at the early levels of Timber Chain.
He's not getting like anything top. Moon is just denying like everything in his face, and then every time he walks up to, he just combos him because he's got extra mangoes and sustain that was coming up from the IO from earlier. KP's actually gone for the bracer and the raindrop so that he can continue his positioning in the lane to actually stay up there. So, yeah.
Savage, he's got an Invis room, so he's going to be fine. Poison Touch onto Tims. Savage, he is tempted to maybe chase one of these two heroes after the Invis comes off. He goes over towards March. He's got the backup of Jabs. The swipe stacking up. March trying for the TP out. Savage able to get the last slap in time. Savage now being able to pick up 2 kills in this mid area.
Off to a good start for him, but Gabby is not being pressured really. That is the biggest thing to watch this game, is the Terrorblade having an excellent start. Now they are starting to look to give him a little bit of right click with the Poison Touch. DJ and Ice will push him away from the wave.
Yeah, they just don't have anywhere near enough damage to take down this Terrorblade. And sort of as the game goes on, I guess it's going to be mainly down to Moon getting the full combo onto the TB for having a solid chance of killing him. And that's going to be hard, because this TB, it definitely feels like it's very strong here in this game.
Savage.
Right? If you don't know... Oh, Armel with the outplay there. Savage, I mean, even if with the enrage, Armel's just able to dance around it. Yeah, good levels on the toe. Simbasaur now, yeah, he's up to level 8. So Savage is pushing it a little too far.
Yeah, he got 9 Fury swipes. He tried to go for him.
Yeah, agreed. Getting the better of him.
Yep.
But yeah, Gabby, if they don't 100 to 0, he's just going to turn pop meta and be able to win the fights, I feel like. With the metamorphosis out, if they haven't taken him out with that initial burst, I don't see how they're going to be able to do so in a drawn-out fight.
Yeah, Gabby's looking to go for an aggressive Sunder play here bottom. Savage is down here, though, to counter gank, and the book actually just immediately one-shots March with the heal. And now Savage is trapped. All right, he is. All right, Gabby's trapped.
Gabby is trapped, and he's out of mana. All right, that's one way to do it. He's used his Sunder, he's used his Metamorphosis, and he's lost his backup. He's lost his friend. March is dead, and that'll do it. Fnatic actually able to kill Gabby there.
Gotta be careful of this, like book level 1, he's got it at such an early time. It's incredibly potent, especially on a hero like Dazzle. You know, I think he already had like 2 or 3 stacks of bad juju on March, and then March just got heal bombed and disappeared. His majority of his health pool just gets one. It was 1,000 damage from the Shadow Wave. So 1,000 damage at 7 minutes in is pretty insane that he was able to actually get him online like that. And Savage already getting active around the map.
Yeah, he knows that Gabby's going to come straight back out, headed into the jungle. Savage on the lookout. Illusion from Gabby will scout it out, though, so Gabby's not going to step anywhere closer to the big old bear.
I like how they did the same thing like this last game too. They always make sure to distribute the, share the load, share the wealth with your teammates. They give DJ mid now as the puck, got to be level 6. So now KP is the same level as the 4 position on the side of Fnatic. So now KP is just dead if he walks up here. He'll just get coiled, silenced, and just get dove. He actually has to hide his face versus a 4 position puck who has the same farm as him.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game for KP to recover.
Ooh, Tim's
got to try.
Almost dies. Moon actually hits a creep with the tree grab there, the tree toss, and Tim's will survive because of it. But DJ might find him.
He might. Tim's is still very low. DJ. He's not going to quite be able to get to him though. Throws the orb out defensively. Tim's starting to heal up. Savage just getting on top of Gabby though. And Gabby, he needs help. Mike's just going to lay down the ice bar, but the Dream calls out onto him. The Sonic Wave pushing them back. DJ getting over. He pops the stick charges. He'll live. And Savage, he's picked up both the kills. Now comes into the chase onto the bear, looking for Savage. Jumps down to the low ground with the Earth Shock. Ice pop isn't going to get him. Arnell throws out the chakram. Savage trying to juke it out, but it's already hit. He's bottling up. He's going to be able to find a bounce. He's going to continue to heal himself up as Armel himself low on the mana. He's got the Soul Ring and the Arcane Boost. Good to go in a second. Jump forward for KP. Savage tries to Earth Shock up to the high ground, but won't quite be able to climb up the cliff. So they do manage to chase and get that bear.
He's trying to be fancy footwork there. Catches him and will get him killed. But now the gang squad's behind. Armel, pretty tanky though.
Yeah, a little too tanky for these 3 to burst through, and no further control. Dream Coil, of course, still on cooldown after that last fight for 20 seconds.
Nice soaking that pressure though. The whole time he's able to almost take down the bottom tower. Now he's getting doomed.
Ice bar from March. Just catching him out, setting up.
Relocate.
I mean, can he do anything about this? I mean, Ice is going to die, but they're going to be able to find Gabby in return. Fnatic up, and they'll be able to win this fight for sure. The Dream Core is out onto both Tims and March. No escape for the Dragon or the Doom. As Fnatic just responding immediately to the attempt from TNC onto Ice. They're getting these kills, but again, it's very important for Gabby that he doesn't die. And this is the 3rd time now where he's died in an attempt to get fighting early.
And they have a lot of burst damage to deal with the Terrorblade early on with Tiny and Puck like this getting all these levels. Gabby has to hide his face. He can just continue to get burst out very easily if the game continues like this. Mel now getting pressured up top. Nice. Wants to chase him out. Jabs in the area. The rotations are coming from TNC. For Fnatic, he wants blood.
He's got the smoke. He's coming in to try and catch them off. Who's waiting for the blink back? He's trying to wait for the blink back. Now the smoke does end. He'll step up, go for the combo, and it's enough damage. KP's dead. As Moon now 3-0-2, getting very active as this Tiny. A 3k lead for Fnatic. They really are starting to hit the same sort of lead and timings they were in game 1, where they had to deal with the Gabby Nagasara, and this time it's to deal with the Gabby Terrorblade. And if anything, it's working better this time because they've been able to actually kill Gabby himself 3 times already.
Yeah. I mean, they're really starting to snowball this early game quite hard. I mean, KP's game is over, I feel like. This offlane Quap is just dead. He's just not going to contribute much of anything besides a Sonic Wave in this game. He's going to go for the Vessel, so at least that'll help in the overall aspect versus IO and versus that Dazzle, but KP's game is extremely difficult to play now. He dies to a combo of Tiny, who now pretty much has the Blink Dagger. DJ is actually like significantly more farmed than him on the support Puck, and it's a max silence. Playing Queen of Pain versus max silence already is not fun.
Mid.
We concerted mid.
They're going to try for the setup. Dream Coil into the relocating from Jabs, bringing in Savage. They've got the good first control with the toss to Puck. Gets out just the last moment with the Timber Chain. He'll live. Savage wants to dive in. Coming again with the Enrage, looking for Tims, but there's the safety as they'll keep Tims safe enough to run away. The tree damage, not enough to kill him. TNC, very quick to respond and make sure that nobody goes down to that attempt from Fnatic.
Very lucky that Armel is actually able to survive that. It was pretty close. Almost actually does get burst. Full response from the team to react. Gabby, fortunately, will get some space out of it, which he really desperately needs at the moment. Because he's just going to get hunted. Look at Moon. Look at how active he's trying to be. They already know where he's probably going to set up. An instant smoke looking to set up as well. No coil available just yet, but high magic burst damage like we were mentioning. And KP...
It's got to be careful. with Moon patrolling the map as he is.
Dyer's top tower.
Look at how aggressive they're playing. They know that they should. This is exactly what they should be doing versus this Terrorblade, who can't show up to the fights really. He's kind of playing a very similar style as he was last game, just leading the charge onto those towers as this off-lane Dazzle / Necrophos like the last game.
Yeah, no, I like the build he's queued up. Do you think he's going to commit for this? So the level 1 Necro book into an Octory.
Looks like a build.
Yeah, go for the big items, you know, you need sort of the middle ground, just go for the end game. I mean, we'll see if he does do it. Maybe he's going to pick up like a casual voodoo mask or something. We'll see what Ice wants to do. But hey, you know, rushed out Octory, and you've got to imagine the cooldown on that shovel as a Dazzle is going to be amazing.
Exactly. That's literally what I was going to say. I was like, he's probably like, I got shovel, I got the best RNG. I mean, it's a really good Yule's game, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, you know that Darryl wanted the Octory, and someone on his team looked over and said, stop it, Darryl. No Octarine. Get something else first, and he is. He's got the Yules queued up instead.
Like Octarine just doesn't. That's just you know, it doesn't do anything. To be really honest.
Dude, the shuttle cooldown.
But he'll die and be like, why the hell do I have an Octarine? Top. They actually
imagine the TP scrolls he would have. Top lane. They got the dream call off Gabby. Gabby gets the off in time. The swipes are starting to build up, and Gabby's got backup though. Savage has got to run. But the tethers are in jabs, KP blinking in, dagger out onto Savage, they get the tomb down onto DJ. So TNC will settle for the puck kill. Again, I mean, you're seeing TNC very on the ball though. Every time any sort of move comes out from Fnatic, TNC, bam, they're there.
I'm actually surprised that Gabby didn't just get one-shotted in the combo there. He's only 900 HP, so lucky to survive Tim's. Not so lucky.
Extra TP's coming in now, TNC. Got to back away. KP's got the blink up. Should be fine. Oh, wow. He looks down the Necro, but takes a lot of damage for that one. Blinks up to the north to avoid the rest of them. March trying to turn, but he's caught in the avalanche of Moon.
He has no blink.
So Moon, at the end of the day, he's still getting the cleanup done every time. He's 4-0-3. Basically, when this Tiny turns up, TNC have to leave.
Yeah, he's off to an explosive start. He's, I mean, already level 11 too, so his combos are really significant, really starting to hurt. Do you see Savage's item build? I think this is pretty cool. Since he's acting as like the one position Ursa, he's not going for this battle fear. Rush MKB to deal with the evasion. I believe. Oh, actually, he didn't take the evasion talent on Terrorblade. Okay, I think maybe that's what he was kind of thinking that the TB would do because it's 16% at level 10, but he doesn't. So still going to be a very strong Ursa, and that's going to be an insane amount of damage, and it will also hurt Armel a lot as it's magic damage. Breaking the coil.
Exactly. See if they can finish Armel off here. Armel able to timber chain away the enraged pop by Savage. Turns his attention over towards Tim. Jumps in with the Earth Shock. Armel has the Chakram. Savage getting low. KP with the Sonic Wave. Blows up the Earth. Relocate out. Will take these size back to City. Moon actually jumps in looking for Gabby, but it's not enough burst on his own to kill Gabby off. Gabby's fine. Ice Path from March won't catch onto DJ, but there's Moon. He actually brought back. Jabs brought him back in. Oh no! Oh no! What? Why did he bring him back? He brought the Tiny back in, and that's Moon's streak coming to an end. That's the first time Moon's died this game.
And now Jabs.
And it's not even his fault. Oh, Jabs was. I mean, maybe just, I guess, felt they could turn the fight around, but taking Moon back to his death.
I think he was trying to maximize heals. I think he tethered and tried to like bottle him because he had some dots and stuff on him or something, and then he just like forgot to untether as a relocate back happened. I'm not sure. Does end up getting Moon killed though. They will still get the tower, but a nice hold and nice defense by TNC. Gabby getting quite a lot out of that one, getting very close to his Manta style now. Much bigger threshold for him to be able to survive. Yeah, Fnatic really trying to push the pressure with these aggressive plays, but yeah, nice responses.
Still a 3k lead here for Fnatic. Items are coming there. Gabby's starting to, get back on the pace that he wants to as a Terrorblade, third highest.
Ooh, another.
Find a few more minutes apiece. He'll be fine. Who's that going to? Who's taking that there?
I imagine Tiny, right? Yeah, Moon has another shot now, so much higher threshold of kill now that he can go for here.
Yeah.
Bunch more spell damage.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, how's the MKB timing looking on us?
Very close. There. But yeah, like we were talking about, it's going to be good versus that TB, and also, it's that magic damage versus the Timber that's just going to always pierce right through the armor. It's going to be, it's actually pretty cool item choice that he's going to be going for.
Nice. It's definitely good. I mean, it's a very because the proc chance is very high, right?
It is
75% chance on each hit. So, especially when you have the high attack speed from overpower, you're going to be doing at least a few hundred magical burst on top of the physical that's already being ramped up. So, it definitely makes sense for the pace they want to play because you can see with these fights, Gabby, you know, he's the focus. You know, the Ursa Savage is running in. He's trying to get on top. And he's trying to bring him down, you know, amongst the limited stuns that Fnatic have. You know, they want to try and kill Gabby off in the Avalanche toss duration.
Absolutely. And they have to start looking to focus those backline heroes a lot more. Armel, definitely not the target they can go for anymore. Full Bloodstone finished. He can pop the Bloodstone heal every time, and I don't see a way that they can kill him unless he's totally isolated in the fights. He is going to be immeasurably strong. So yeah, Fnatic, the next couple fights should be a lot harder for them to execute. And nice, he actually throws himself insanely far forward.
Oh, he is very dead here. But hey, you know, managed to push the lane out a bit. Yep, push the lane out.
Out because of it.
Oh, Savage, yeah, he does back off. Did have the MKB done, but didn't want to try and fight into it with, without knowing how much was behind KP.
Yeah, they just saw through here and there anyway. And they're also they just got all 4 bounty runes, and they're getting some pressure up top too, so yeah, no point in, they don't need to force anything there. He actually has the DD and that MKB. He's looking at Roche while this top fight's happening.
Let's see what they can do here. Armel's chasing. Doesn't manage to catch Moon with the Chakram though, Moon. Still on the back off. This is underneath the tier 1 tower. TPs could come in from Fnatic.
They're getting the Roche.
Armel, but Armel is very tanky indeed, and as you say, if anything, just a distraction. Savage. Roche is here, Aegis as well, getting the most stun there with that DD rune pickup. Taking Roche down incredibly quickly.
Attack is under attack.
And keeping this lead. 5k advantage still for Fnatic. 1300 gold, and Ice is going to have the Hex ready for the next fight.
Yeah, I mean, he's very farmed. The jump forward, they're actually getting some pressure onto Gabby, maybe forcing a Sunder. He will, but now Moon has to be just to be a little cautious. He has backup, Essence String on Io. How fortunate. And he has a Dazzle behind him. So it forces that Sunder. They've got about 70 seconds if they want to look to make another aggressive play.
Yeah, and forcing the Metamorphosis. They can wait that out. They know that Gabby's popped it, and then try and get aggressive when the meta's down. It's going to be a nice window for Fnatic to try and make plays with this Aegis on Ursa.
On Gabby. Okay, he's still going to be going for this full greed, going for this IS Scotty next. BKB is going to be very valuable for him this game, though, because they don't really have any BKB piercing things that he has to worry about besides Ag's Coil and the eventual Abyssal that will come out for Ursa. So eventually we'll definitely see him pick that one up so he can just hold his ground a lot easier. Fnatic looking to assert their dominance with this Aegis at the moment, though.
Let's see how much they want to try and push. Still a lot to be taken on that top lane. Tier 1 and Tier 2 still standing for TNC.
They're drawing from the line now.
Yeah, they've got more to find before they go for the high ground. Mid lane, Savage. Armel actually going to miss the chain. It should still be fine, though. Again, unless they commit with the Dream Coil, they don't really have the biggest amount of hold for this Timbersaw, and DJ in that moment not quite in range.
There's smoke in the back. They definitely want to look to fight with DJ. Claiming the high ground here. Trying to catch something. They see the TB illusions top, so they're probably trying to catch him on the retreat. And they might be able to. They have this ward here. They see Tim's. Tim's spots the ward himself. And we'll probably die for the D ward, but we all got that spike. I got a lag spike there as well, so. Well, Tim's dead.
Yeah, you think they just go on Tim's, blow up the Doom?
Yeah, I don't think they saw Gabby at first.
No.
He was still hiding over on the sidelines there, so Tim's will likely die and Gabby will get out.
There we go. So as soon as this happens, Gabby's getting immediately out of here. Backing away, still trying to finish his Skadi. And we'll still be there a good time. 23 minutes in,
Radiant's top tower.
only 5k down. It still feels, a tough game for TNC, but definitely not to the extent that game 1 was.
Yeah, absolutely not. Just very, like KP is not, like I said, he's not going to have that great of a game. He's trying to soak some type of pressure or soak some of the space that's happening right now, farming down bottom, but. Yeah, he's just going to be limited. But when he has his Yules, like his job is going to be a lot easier. Just Yules here, so run away and stuff like that. So they are setting up all 3 cores top. TNC looking like they want to fight around this area for the next bounty runes.
With their positioning, I mean, Fnatic, they still really want to try and do something with this Aegis before it goes. They haven't yet been able to find that fight since. They now can be a little more aggressive with the hunt, though. As the Hex complete on Ice. Got a very solid way of locking down. It's now between the sort of the Dream Coil, the Tiny combo, and the Hex. That should be enough, as long as Gabby's on top of the target as well, to even take down some of the tankier beasts on TNC's lineup.
Yeah,
Smoke's dispelled. Moon tries for the blind jump onto the Doom, but Doom's already out of there. Tim's quick for the reaction, blinks out to safety. They do get the clumsy net onto March. Fnatic charging forwards, looking for the Jakiro. They're in on top of him. They'll take him out. March is down. The rest of TNC able to get away. Still Gabby doing the most he can with the space that he knows that is there for him to safely move in. He's inside the jungle of Fnatic. He's now got the money for the Skadi done.
Yeah, he's still doing very well. We see the race to the bounty runes. Will Fnatic get all 4? Looks like they might. KP in the meanwhile is being a little crazy right now, trying to cut waves. He'll get a courier. Will he survive though? He gets hexed. And he's dead.
They got the courier though, It's like, I give him a job. I wanted to take that away from him.
He pulled all 5 of Fnatic onto that side of the map too. There's still a bounty rune up top available. So, he did his job. Make space for Gabby. Aegis is about to time out.
So I'm not going to have too much at all to play with this one. Mid lane, they're going to try and make a move onto him. Ice Path out, they're doing it exactly as they know that the Aegis has gone. Doom's down, and that was done perfectly by TNC. They were keeping a perfect timing on that one. As Fnatic just, maybe themselves, they didn't keep the timing. They played on, they played in. As the Aegis expired, TNC take down the Ursa. They're even chasing over for Ice here as well. Armel blocking him off. Trying to get March in range for a potential Ice Path. Ice going for the shallow grave. Ice Path won't clip him, but it doesn't matter. The Chakram's out onto him. Ice goes down. DJ's trying to find Tim's. Will get him with the coil. So DJ finding something off the back of that, but overall, yeah, TNC, they did not miss a beat there with that Aegis expiring.
Yeah, they, like you said, timed it perfectly. They knew. I don't know if Fnatic knew that theirs was going to be expiring there, but they played just a little bit too far forward and got punished for it. Moon now trying to TP out, and will be able to, after he cut the wave. Very nice aggressive move from TNC. Finally getting Gabby involved in a successful manner.
Yeah, no, Gabby, he's on top. He can, as we see, queuing up the BKB. I mean, with the BKB, Manta and Skadi, there's pretty much no way they can touch Gabby. I mean, sure, there's still going to be the Fury swipes from the Ursa, but with 39 armor, it's going to take a lot of those stacks for Gabby to get to the point where he's really taking any sort of hits from the bear. So yeah, with the BKB, he's just going to be invincible in these team fights.
Yeah. It's got a lot of protection.
See Fnatic very close to having the E-Blade complete on Moon, so an additional way to ensure the burst will eliminate some of these heroes before they can respond.
Burst or just protecting some people, yeah. It's I mean, this is the item build that we've seen nearly every time. Veil is the only thing that gets like switched in and out sometimes instead of that other in-between item. Definitely going to be a good pickup for Moon. And now they have a gem on the side of Fnatic too, so looking to claim a little bit more map control there after that bit of a blunder where they lost quite a bit there. Armel and both Gabby top of that net worth. Now KP still struggling, but these two beefcakes in the front line are going to be very strong. Armel also with the repair kit. He's at like 50 HP per second with all this. Oh, a Titan Sliver as well. Here you go, Terrorblade.
Dire are
It
scared.
still feels like, Fnatic, they're starting to lose some of that lead. They've got to make a move soon. I mean, sure, Roshan, they're in 10 seconds, so ideally for Fnatic with this Ursa lineup, they head over, check that out, get themselves another round at the Aegis and Cheese, and see if they could do more with it this time round as opposed to the first time where when they really started to go, it was actually just a little too late. So we'll see if Fnatic are going to check out that pit as Roshan up in 20 seconds. Yeah, the Roshan's going to be available for them.
Gabby is really a problem now, though. He's about to finish the BKB, and I think then he can show up to every single one of these fights with no problem. Because, like I said, there's no BKB piercing disables until they have the Ags quota, they have the Basher on 23 Savage. Gabby's in well fighting form. TNC should just look to fight pretty much every single one of these when he has this.
I'll see what they can do here around the mid lane. Still very much been TNC responding to the fights of Fnatic, which has been fine, right? They haven't really needed to pressure back onto Fnatic's half of the map as long as Gabby's in this good spot. They can wait for Fnatic to come to them. It works perfectly for their draft. I guess Terrorblade as a hero, he's more than happy if you try and bring the fight to him, as long as he's got the Metamorphosis available. Gabby, he wants Fnatic to try and fight into this TB.
Yeah, and he's more than fine with this game. He's like, bring it late. Yeah. I'm a Terrorblade with a Doom behind me and a Timbers. Like, the Doom is the big X factor that changes a lot of the game, too. It's like Terrorblade, godly late game hero, but then you have a Doom on your team to shut down what we've been seeing of a lot of 4 Protect 1s. That Doom can just erase the Ursa in some of the situations or just make it really complicated for Savage to play. Even if he has the IO behind him healing and sustaining him, the Doom will just prevent Savage from actually focus firing as good.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And do you think, is there sort of a point as well as this game slows down where Savage might actually be feeling like that maybe he was missing the Battle Fury potential just to be able to maybe get ahead of the TB and farm and have a way of clearing through the illusions? Or do you think that sort of route of play just isn't going to work against TNC's lineup anyway?
Honestly, I think maybe he could have, but the thing is, it's a mid-earth. Yeah. This game's a little different. He's actually getting jumped in mid. Jab's behind, looking for the reload.
He's not going to get in time. Savage is good. Jab's in trouble as well. TNC. I see a chance to jump in. DJ's going to try and come in and help out Jab. Jabs has been graved. Hex comes out, but the Lotus was already there from Armel, so Ice has to back off.
Immediately to Roche. Look at Gabby.
Yeah. It's up, and he's taking it. TNC, I mean, at this point of the game, I think it's kind of hard to see how Fnatic can close this one up. Gabby's just in this incredible point. Now, Armel's close behind him as well. And the fights just seem to be too hard for Fnatic to take. This Roshan going into TNC's hands as well is just sort of the extra kicker, really, because Fnatic with this Ursa, they need this Aegis and Cheese to push up with. Now they haven't got access to it. Gabby himself has the Aegis. Sure, he died, 3 times very early on in this game, but ever since that, they haven't been able to touch him, and I don't know how they're going to be able to do so at this point.
Yeah, no BKB piercing disables, and he's got this and a good supporting staff behind him. He's looking really, they're looking like they're definitely in the lead now for the last few moments. Even when they didn't have the gold lead, even when they were 5k behind, it did feel like they were really starting to take control of this game just because of Gabby and because he has much better matchups. Like we said, the Naga Siren last game had its counters. Yep. This time, TB does not really have those counters.
No, TB very strong for sure. I think here as well, not quite sure on the stats, but when you sort of see the SEA teams play Terrorblade compared to Naga Siren, I feel like Terrorblade has, it's the more popular of the two. This hero is definitely the one teams are more scared of.
It's more of an actual hard carry. That's the difference. Naga Siren's different. It's like this attrition hero where you take over the whole map and you're making them move around all over the place, and you're suffocating them to the point where they can't deal with your illusions and all that. While TB it's this beast that's just trucking your team and killing you in most situations.
Yeah, it's just a really... He's out of it. Has been spotted by Armel. I see a very Divine back in the jungle. March, he's going to try and slow down Savage. Savage is able to still jump in and kill him off. Tim's pops the BKB. DJ as well turning over towards him, starting away from KP coming out the backlines, but Savage just turns, the bashes is there. KP, he's gone into his dead. He goes down, that's 3 dead. Sure, they lose the Aya, but Fnatic able to pick apart TNC there, catching them out where they weren't ready to fight. Gabby was nowhere near, or at least had to back up with the TP. This was just a position that TNC weren't good to go. Fnatic very quick to spot any sort of element of weakness in the way that TNC was spread out across the map and find those kills.
Yeah, they caught them split up completely. They caught the perfect heroes in the front line. And Gabby?
They're going to try for Gabby. Gabby's a lot tougher though. BKB, Manta, and Aegis. See if they can even take him down in the ones. He's got the backup of Armel as well. In Fnatic, they continue to poke the dodge there of the E-Blade with the Manta. They turn over towards Armel. Armel is in trouble though. He's going to get taken out now. Savage, he can turn over towards Gabby. Gabby trying to turn, trying to sunder, but he gets bashed. He's dead the once. Can they do it again though? A lot of backup coming in, and the Fnatic, they're playing it safe. They know that they got lucky doing it the once. They're not going to be able to do it a second time. They back off, but they do manage to do it, showing that TNC still very much have to be careful. They do still have the gold lead, Fnatic, and when they're able to do it one by one, you know, at the end of the day, it is an Ursa. You know, this hero, as long as it can get on a single target, he's going to win the trades.
Tim's, he's got the blink. He won't be able to get it away. But yeah, now, I mean, how quick things change. Just at what, they got 4 kills in a row. That huge one on Armel too. Look how rich this Ursa is now.
Moves going.
Tim's.
They're chasing for him. Tims is up to the high ground. It's another BKB charge out from Tim. Savage goes over with the Abyssal Blade. He's looking for March. Does get used up. Savage is pretty for this one. Has a lot of backup. A very mini relocate from Jab there to the side. I think was just attempting to get Savage up to the high ground, but of course Savage able to do that himself already with the Earth Shock. Gabby's chasing.
DJ does have an Axe now. This could be a huge change here versus the TV, but the IO relocate. Will he be able to get out? No.
He'll go down. Jab's gone. Fnatic should be very careful about fighting Gabby. Also, of course, using the Metamorphosis for this one. So they'll step away. So very much seems, yeah, that the 5-on-5, TNC is going to have the upper hand on. Whoa, but when they're caught out one by one, they do not stand a chance. TNC slipping up. They're getting caught out. They're not being able to find a situation where they're going to try and fight this. But again, Fnatic are just picking them apart one by one. And now there's the buyback from KP. Gabby steps forward, but he hasn't got Metamorphosis Armel. He's able to get the cheese off. Ice Path from Mark comes out, but Savage has already popped the BKB. Savage trying to finish up Armel, but Armel hills up with the Bloodstone. Moon jumps over with the E-Blade toss combo, and it's enough. He's able to blow up the Timbersaw. The Timbersaw goes down. So Gabby still at the back of the BKB with the Abyssal Blade coming out. Gabby's dead for 80. The Shallow Grave as well from Ice, keeping Savage alive. TNC, they're crumbling big time.
Oh my god.
Over onto the quad, into the Hex from Darrow. Queen of Pain falls. They had a chance here, TNC. They really did. Gabby was in a perfect position to carry, but the last 5 minutes, I mean, I feel like we're going to have to check sort of their voice communication software as everything broke down. One by one, they were picked apart from Fnatic, and now they face an 18k lead that Fnatic have. And they just didn't have the fight they needed. They couldn't do it.
Like you said, if they fight 5-on-5, they can probably be okay here in these scenarios, but Fnatic just one by one picks them off over again. And like you said, for the last 5 minutes, it was what, a 2k gold lead or something for Fnatic? Look at it now.
It was close.
Bring up the graph. Holy moly. I don't know what to say. You know, some people like to say the throw word, but Fnatic just completely destroyed them.
Yeah, TNC had a chance,
probably off that.
and they just let it slip away. And Fnatic, you know, you definitely have to give hats off to them for the way that they absolutely decimated TNC in these, you know, sort of windows of opportunity that were presented to them. These little slip-ups from TNC, the domino effect was real, right? Sort of one thing just knocking into the next, and TNC just lost full control. Any sort of control they were starting to have, Gabby's still in a good place at the top, but the rest of his team has fallen so far behind.
Radiant's middle
And now, because of the 2 fights, they've got so much gold that they do have ways to deal with the BKB, like I was mentioning. Oh, Savage, speaking of BKB, pops his, but they have the Ags on the Puck and the Abyssal on the Ursus. So Gabby, who had that moment where he was super strong while getting the BKB, because they fed, what, 6 kills in a row, they completely changed the entire dynamic of what that BKB means in the game.
Oof. Yeah, rough few minutes of gameplay there from TNC. As Fnatic back in a similar position. Well, this game obviously a little longer than that of game 1, but definitely reaching some of the same leads. And you know, suddenly this level 5 Dagon, it's there on Moon. He's got an E-Blade and a level 5 Dagon combo. He's good to go.
I mean, they all got
the Octarine Dream nearly done for Ice. Yeah,
every single one of them got an absolute full item from those last occasions, and now they're steamrolling. They see a Tim's up front away from his team. That's a dead Doom with no backup even close. They just completely ruined. They completely ruined TNC in the last 8 minutes.
They did. Wow, it's got to feel pretty rough for TNC. You know, I don't know how you're sort of trying to bring yourselves back together after losing a few minutes of play like that you've just done. It's going to be very hard for them to really come back with anything at this point. Tim's.
They got
another freebie. They can just take who they want right now. Fnatic over the mid. Quick burst onto KP. It's just it's all been lost for TNC. It seems that maybe they could do one sort of final stand as 5 on the high ground around Gabby, but they're sort of not letting that happen. They keep just going out one by one and they keep dying.
I don't think I've seen a swing like that in a bit of time. Like, just in a matter of 4 minutes, just 20,000.
And Daryl's got a Spell Prism. Ice. Spell Prism and Octarine soon to be there. 300 for the Voodoo Mask.
But now the shovel is gone. Oh.
He hasn't got the shovel, but that Hex still down and under. That's of course. What is, I mean, at the moment, without the Octarine, it's an 8-second cooldown on the Hex. My goodness. Under the base they go, Fnatic. Looking to take another set of racks. What can TNC do here? They're going to try and go forward. Savage turns over towards Armel with the Abyssal. But it is backing away. Gabby's popped the meta. They get the Doom down onto Ice. They'll find the down for the deny. They do manage to deny, and their Jab's able to deny Ice. Of course, both of them still out of the game, and TNC, they're going to chase on. Dream calls down there from TJ. There's a buyback from Jabs. Jabs keeping over towards the outpost. They turn things around here. TJ jumps across with the silence. They got further control for this puck. DJ throwing out the orb, jumps over to the side. Armel's in. DJ up to the high ground, but KP's awaiting. There's the burst from Moon. He's able to blow up Tim's. In trouble. Jabs can't save him, and Jabs, he's actually going to die here. That's a dieback on Jabs. As Fnatic, I guess they say, hey, we could do that too. I mean, this is what we're talking about. TNC, when it comes to the fights where they're prepared as a full team and they can run down Fnatic as 5, they'll have a great shot of it. And they do exactly that here. They hold the base, they chase Fnatic away, and despite being 21k down, they're actually going to have a good minute of play where they can really push these lanes back out.
And also Roche. Look at that. Roche spawns for them, and that's the Aghanim Scepter. Gabby has the Rapier queued up, too. So, all right. Rapier about to hit level 25.
I like it.
Okay, let's go.
Gabby with the Rapier. It's going to be pretty hype. And the buyback's coming out, though. They don't want to let Gabby get this Aegis. They're going to try and do their best to stop this. They jump in with the Dream Coil. Jump forward from Savage. Goes to the bashes. Gabby wants the BKB. Drops down. The Abyssal Active comes down. Gabby can't get off the Sunder in time. Savage takes him out. As the players made their DJ with the buyback saying, guys, we have to fight at this Roche. We cannot let this Terrorblade get the Aegis. Fnatic pushed TNC out of the pit, and they're even chasing for more here. Savage, seeing if he can close the gap onto March, takes Curry down on the way for it. Relocate's going to be coming over. Moon's able to blow up KP with the Dagon there on top of March. And just when it seemed that maybe CNC were going to get a chance to fight back and swing this one round after letting it all slip away, that buyback, the call from DJ or whoever made it to said, you know, let's get in the pit, let's go for it. It pays off massively. So the Roshan will now be theirs. The rest of the team inside of the pace. There's a buyback on Gabby, there's a buyback on March, but no buyback on Armel and no buyback on KP. Armel 270 gold short. KP and his buyback on cooldown. Fnatic, they're going to have a solid shot of at least cleaning up the racks here, maybe even ending the game.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
That's Gabby, Tim's.
I mean, look at the grave pool there. He can infinitely grave people.
Oh, they're diving. They're fountain diving here.
Infinite graves.
They're fountain diving. I mean, Moon is going to dive for that fountain dive.
I
mean, the game's not over yet. They are going to be back up. Gabby's back up. He didn't actually need to use his buyback. We're going to see Tim's use his. The range racks do go down, so Fnatic, they are able to get the safety play of taking the Megas. Tim's getting committed on. Wolves go down. That's a dieback. They're back on towards finishing the game. Moon turns over towards March. March has got buyback, and Gabby's back in the game. Gabby has Metamorphosis available, so Fnatic had to retreat.
Or do they?
DJ. As DJ, as you say, having the coverage of this permanent grave, he wants to go back in. Gabby now popping the meta. Ice pass down onto right side. Jab's trying to see if he's able to do it. The relocate takes side out in time. Gabby now turns his attention over towards Moon. Moon able to use the spider legs to get himself outside the base. Now he gets back in. The silence on the Gabby. They found him. In they go again. Take him out. Gabby will buy back, but he has no meta. He has no backup from KP or Tim's. Armel taken out. And Fnatic, they will get the victory here once again. GG is called. Fnatic just deciding to end with a little bit of play, a little bit of fun, a little bit of fountain diving, feeling very confident towards the end of this game. And rightfully so, as they take this game to. And with that, the series 2-0. Fnatic looking pretty good today.
Yeah.
Thank you.